So, this is the bridesmaid dress debacle. I want to know if I would be the a-hole if I decide not to go to the wedding after all. I'm currently in medical school and live across the country from my brother/family. I was surprised when his fiancé asked me to be a bridesmaid because I barely know her. But she wants to have an all siblings in the wedding type thing. I made it clear that their wedding was during my final exam week at school. And while I was able to get accommodation to take my last 2 exams early, I still wouldn't be able to help much with planning or be present at things like bachelorette parties, bridal showers, etc. She said that's fine. It would most likely just be to have an even number of bridesmaids to groomsmen and for pictures. There's a group chat that was created months ago that I would read through every couple of days to get updates on things that I needed to do, namely to order a bridesmaid's dress. Links were sent with 3 styles to choose from, and we would be updated on colors later. So a couple weeks go by and I ask what color to order. Bride says she's still thinking about it, and a couple more weeks go by and she's still thinking. Then a couple more weeks, yeah, you get the idea. Now, it's at that point that if I don't order this dress in a couple of days, it won't be in here in time. So I ask on Saturday what color. No response in the group chat to me. So I ask again yesterday, which is Sunday, what color do I need to order? Then I'm flooded with messages blasting me for not ordering a dress yet, from her sisters and my sister and her. My sister called me and told me to get my crap together and order a dress already because my lack of preparedness is causing the bride intense anxiety because she doesn't think my dress will even be here in time for the wedding now. She texted me this morning, "Don't forget to order your dress, love you," with smile and kissing emojis. Still, no one's told me the color. I've scoured the group chat for a mention of dress colors or an image of a dress, but only the maid of honor sent a photo of her dress, and I don't know if she has a special color. There's thousands of messages, so it's not simple to find anything. Everyone else can meet in person, so I assume the decision on color was just relayed in person. I can't tell if I'm being purposefully excluded. About an hour ago, my brother called me pleading with me to work things out with the bride. She's panicking because of me. I tried to explain to him, and he told me he doesn't care. It's a petty little lady issue, and since I'm not there for anything else, this is the least I can do because the bride thinks I don't like her, because I wouldn't come to anything. Guys, he's taking her side. They know I'm in medical school. I've literally no say in my schedule. And I'm on the other side of the country, 5.5 hours by a plane. I'm fed up with them and contemplating telling my instructors the wedding was moved, and I'll take my exam at the regular time. I'd have more time to study that way anyways. I haven't told anyone in the family I'm considering this, and I just want to ask some other people first. Would I be the a-hole if I bailed on this wedding? What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. Things are starting to heat up. The only question I was asking to myself when I was reading that story is, why can't anyone tell her the color of the dress? Alright, here's your update. I called my mother. I did, and asked her what color the bridesmaid dresses are. She said lavender. The only color option on the website that I would call lavender are named Pearly Lilac, Periwinkle, and Orchid Purple. I texted the maid of honor, which is the bride's sister, to ask what dress color and got a multi-paragraph long lecture about not having ordered my dress yet. Basically, they're trying so hard to accommodate me being across the country by including me in the group chat. She said she didn't remember the shade name, but it's a dusty purple. Then sent me a blurry picture of a wrinkled order confirmation. The shade name was mulberry. On the dress website, that's a darker wine/purple color. I told her this, and she said to order the lighter dusty purple color. I sent her a screenshot with a list of shade names and asked which one. She said she didn't know, because everyone ordered their dress so long ago and asked for pictures of the dress in different shades from the website. So, I sent screenshots of all the purple colors. There was no response for a while, so I called her on the phone, which she was upset about because it's past 10 p.m. over there now. Her response was, "Look, I don't care what your problem is with me and my sister, but if you want to stay in good standing with this family, you need to get your ducks lined up, girly. So after she went ahead and told me all that, I ignored her and said 2 words. What color? Her response, light purple. Oh, of the 3 I sent, which one is it? I don't remember. I'll have to ask one of the other bridesmaids for her receipt. I'll get back to you. I want to bash my head against a wall listening to this. I called my second brother, the one getting married, and he said they're pulling similar things with him, and he feels like he was deliberately giving the wrong dates for the bachelor party by the best man, which is the bride's brother, so that he would purposely miss it. He inadvertently learned about the change date that morning of, and when he asked the best man, he told him it must have slipped his mind to remind him. Then joked that he wouldn't have missed much since he probably won't enjoy any of the quote festivities. Anyways, they've been making weird, homophobic jokes and comments to him that he's been ignoring, but he thinks they're trying to get him to back out of the wedding completely. So, if we both back out, then there'll be an even number of bridesmaids and groomsmen again. Only speculation on our part though, of course. Final update. Thanks for the responses. I called the bridal salon and asked what colors were ordered. 4 dresses in the color Flint, 1 in mulberry. The maid of honor was setting me up to believe mulberry was the color of all the dresses, so I ordered 1 in mulberry and 1 in Flint. I only let the maid of honor know I purchased the mulberry dress. I caught a red eye to be there for the rehearsal. They had a room to get ready in the morning and wanted all the dresses stored there. I showed up with my mulberry dress. The bride begins crying because it's too late to fix it. She asked if I would be upset if I asked to drop out because mulberry is for the maid of honor. I pretended like I'd make such a big mistake. I said, I know, girl, that works at the salon. Let me call her and see if there's any way to make it right. And if not, I'll step down because I want you to have that perfect day. So, I'd show back up the next morning to start getting ready with the correct dress. My friend looked in the back for me and they just had this returned yesterday. What are the odds? It's my exact style, color, and size. I guess this is a sign. That's when silence, then awkwardness, and then quote, that's amazing. Now, I'll be honest. I thought the revenge would be that they had to have me and my younger brother in the wedding and photos, but I could not have planned what happened next. They had to explain to the makeup artist there was an additional bridesmaid, meaning they planned from the beginning that I would not be in this wedding. The ceremony went fine, and we took photos after. Then there was no place setting for me and little brother with the wedding party at the reception, since they were banking on 1 less bridesmaid and 1 less groomsman being present. The table was almost not long enough. 2 chairs had to be thrown on the ends. We didn't get food initially because we were actually in the seating plan at the other table, so our plates were brought to those place settings. I can tell my brother, groom, seems ticked off at the staff for seemingly not having things set up properly, but the bride and best man diverted his attention. Before he, aka groom, left, he found me and said he asked the maid of honor why the settings were wrong, and he was told I asked to be dropped from the wedding party weeks ago, then showed up and demanded to be in the wedding. Yeah, I said I did not ask to be dropped. I showed him my phone, where she gave me the thumbs up on the dress. He noticed the screenshot was not the dress I was currently wearing, so I said I had to last-minute switch it out of confusion on the color. He seemed satisfied with that. They left on their honeymoon, and my brother returned several days early. Alone! So, I guess you can guess what happened. Alright guys, I'm going to read you a comment that is absolutely genius. It's a reply from one of the commenters saying, this is what you should have typed out in the friend chat. Oh boy. I would love to order my dress. I would have loved to order the dress a long time ago, in fact. I don't like being pushed to the wire any more than anyone else, and I can see why this delay would particularly stress out the bride. But I've repeatedly, and I'll say again repeatedly, Asked for the color of the dress and have not been given a definitive answer. As it's gotten closer, I've been chewed out by multiple people for not having a dress yet, but I still have not been given a color. I don't want to know what to do without suddenly developing telepathy. I'm waiting for the color because I don't want to disrupt the bride's version of the wedding if I guess incorrectly. And frankly, I assume that will also get me chewed out if I guess and show up in the wrong color. I'd really appreciate if someone, anyone in this group chat, would go ahead and use a single cell of common sense. Tell me the color. That's all I need to know. So I think that would be the best response, because when I was reading this story the whole time, I just kept thinking to myself, what is the color of the dress? And then at the end, it became pretty evident that they didn't want her there. Drop your comments down below, guys. The final story we're going to look at does come complete with an update. The title is this: Am I the a-hole for refusing to put my boyfriend on the title of my house, or make him a beneficiary? My boyfriend of over 3 years has been living with me for 18 months. We're both in our 30s, happy, and talk about how this is it for us. Relationship-wise, we're in it for the long haul. Only problem, he doesn't want to get married, and I really do. Marriage is important to me. We've had a lot of talks recently, and his vibe is somewhat between not ready and commitment as far as marriage is stupid. So why bother? After many long discussions, I've realized that I love him enough to stay and take marriage off the table. Even though I want it, he says he doesn't know if he'll ever want to get married. Side note, we both don't want children. Now, the issue. I got paperwork from my insurance and was looking through it. I made a joke about how my parents are going to be really comfortable if I die, especially in an accident. They can mourn me in style because of my insurance policies and added, quote, accidental death insurance I have. My boyfriend and I then got to talking, and he mentioned how I should really change the beneficiary to him. I said no, absolutely not. I told him that I would never make anyone who was in blood or legal family my beneficiary. I said I would add him in the future if one day he decided he wanted marriage with me, but as it stands now, my insurance will remain as is. I also told him that since I own the house we live in myself, I bought it before we got together, by the way, that I would never add him to the title without marriage. Guys, am I the a-hole? And he's now mad, saying I am an a-hole and holding marriage as a bargaining chip. We never have to get married, okay, but I'm not comfortable tying him to my finances without being married. What's up, guys? Mr. Reddito here. So I was reading the comments on this one. It seems like there's a lot of people who are in this situation. After some time, OP did post an update. Smash that subscribe button and let's see what's going on with this situation. I listened to a lot of you and your feedback and talked to my boyfriend after my post. He seemed weird in our talk. He's been weird a lot lately, but I've been excusing it. He told me that he said to put him on an insurance beneficiary partly as a joke, but then when I, quote, went off on my tangent, including offering up, that he'll never go on my house title, even though he never mentioned it, and he got offended and just reacted poorly. He said he really did think I was going off about all that in the retaliation for his no marriage talk. So he was left with a bitter taste in his mouth, which I understand that, I guess. I can be more forceful than I've realized, and I'm naturally passive-aggressive. He said I didn't have to put him on anything, but he needs me to understand that I am in it for him. He wants to make his life with me. Things seem to be better after this. That weekend, he asked if I wanted to go on a hike. It was peak season for the leaves changing, and there's a waterfall he suggested we go to. We get to the waterfall, and he pulls out an envelope out of his jacket. A tiny bow on it says a present for me. I open it. It's a receipt from a jewelry store. I was confused, but I see he had the date of a purchase highlighted in a circle with a heart. It was this early August. I turn, and there he is with a ring. I said yes. He said I knew I would never believe that he had the ring before all this without the receipt. That his attitude and comments when I started asking about marriage was to fool me, so I didn't get suspicious because he was planning the whole thing. He wanted an autumn proposal and a beautiful location since it is my favorite season. Money he has been saving after moving in with me, since I charge him much smaller amount than he was previously paying. He saved money for over a year because he knew when he moved in with me that he was going to eventually ask me to marry him. So honestly, this is the best case scenario. We talked after too, and when we got married, we'll add each other as beneficiaries on our insurance policy. And we decided there's no need to put him on my title even if we got married. Guys, I really appreciate everybody's comments on the last post. Thank you so much. So I found 2 comments that did not agree with each other. Oh my gosh, this story was adorable. The boyfriend was stupid, but he was adorable. I started laughing because this was the plotline in Friends. Also, I nearly broke up with my husband after he tried the same darn thing. Comment 2. I didn't think this was adorable. It's crappy and stupid. Mature people should talk out their marriage plans in advance. How do you propose? It can be a surprise. The fact that you're going to propose should never be a surprise. So my question to you guys, out of those 2 comments, which one are you on the side for? Comment number 1 or comment number 2, drop it down below. If you want to say comment number 3 and give your own comment, totally cool. Do that, drop it down below, subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.